The copperhead, Agkistrodon contortrix, is found in 28 states throughout the central and eastern United States. Their geographic range extends from southern New England to the eastern parts of Kansas and Nebraska, and then south to eastern Texas to the Florida Panhandle. They are also found in localized parts of western Texas and northern Coahuila and Chihuahua, Mexico. Copperhead subspecies are recognized by slight changes in color pattern, shape and hue. 5 subspecies are recognized: northern copperhead, A.C. moccasin, widely extends throughout the United States, southern New England, USA, to Coahuila and Chihuahua, Mexico. Southern copperhead, A.C. contortrix, extends through Massachusetts, westward to Texas and southeastern Nebraska. Broad-banded copperhead, A.C. laticinctus, confined to southern border of Kansas and Oklahoma, and central Texas. Transpicose copperhead, A.C. pictigaster, confined to the Transpicose, far west Texas, region as well as northeastern Mexico. Osage copperhead, A.C. Augusta, found in the central region of the United States, where they are most prominent in Missouri and eastern Kansas. Recent molecular analysis using mitochondrial DNA, however, suggests that there are 3 clades within the species that have relatively low divergence and do not correspond to the above-mentioned subspecies designations. Additional analyses are needed to resolve genetic lineages within the species. Habitat: the broad geographic range of A. contortrix is associated with an array of habitats in which they occur. In the Northeast and Appalachians, they are typically found in deciduous forests and open woodlands with rock outcrops and hilly terrain. Areas with downwoody vegetation are also favored. On the southern coastal plain, they can be found in low, wet woodlands including the edges of swamps. Further west, they are associated with riparian areas in mixed woodlands with stream beds and arroyos. They also associate with man-made environments including construction areas, sawdust piles, and suburban neighborhoods. Their close proximity with humans likely contributes to their status as the snake species with the highest number of bites within the United States. Overwintering sites are often south or west-facing and include rock crevices, abandoned mines, caves, hollow logs, stumps, and building foundations. Gravid females also tend to use such sites and prefer microhabitats with higher temperature profiles. Physical description: Agkistrodon contortrix individuals are known for their distinctive reddish-brown bodies with a crossband pattern consisting of tan, copper, and rich brown colors that extend throughout the body. Adult copperheads average 76 centimeters in length and are normally described as heavy-bodied snakes. Copperheads are sexually dimorphic, as males tend to have longer bodies than females. The head is very distinct from the rest of the body and has a solid, rich brown color. Temperature-sensitive pit organs are present below the midline between the eye and the nostril. Although copperheads are venomous, their venom is somewhat mild compared to other snake species and is usually not fatal to healthy human adults. Juveniles have very similar crossband patterns as adults but are much grayer in color. Besides their color differences, juveniles also have a yellow tinted tail tip until they reach the age of 3 to 4 years. The tinted tail is also found in other Agkistrodon species, cottonmouth, Agkistrodon piscivorbis, for example, and appears to be used to lure small prey within striking distance by mimicking caterpillar movements. Juveniles and adults have fully functioning fangs that can deliver proportionately equal amounts of venom to their prey like other viperids. Female copperheads are viviparous. Eggs are thought to be predominantly less ectotrophic, deriving a majority of energy from yolk, but there is recent evidence that amino acids can be transferred from the mother to the developing embryo. Upon parturition, the yolk sac membrane encasing a neonate is usually broken, releasing fully developed young. Newborn copperheads are capable of finding and capturing their own prey at the time of birth. Van Dyke and 2012. While copperheads generally reproduce sexually, it has also been shown that it is one of a handful of vertebrates that can reproduce asexually, through facultative parthenogenesis. Researchers have found that females kept in captivity in the absence of males periodically produce one fully developed neonate along with a group of aborted ova. It is hypothesized that parthenogenesis occurs via terminal fusion automyxis, a mechanism whereby the reduced ovum combines with the second polar body following the second round of cell division in meiosis. Two primary lines of evidence support this interpretation. First, copperheads and other advanced snakes have a ZZZW mode of genetic sex determination where males are the homogametic sex, ZZ. Observations of parthenogenesis within the group have so far found only male offspring. Second, molecular evidence shows that while the mother is heterozygous for neutral genetic loci, microsatellites, the parthenogens are homozygous across loci. These results make it highly unlikely that a captive female stored sperm from a mate prior to capture, see below, for fertilization. Notably, facultative parthenogenesis has also been documented in the wild, which suggests that this reproductive mode is not a byproduct of captivity and may be fundamental to the species' reproductive biology. Males search for mates during the breeding season by detecting pheromones in the air with their tongues. Males have longer tongues than females, a sexual size dimorphism that may aid in the search for a mate. Male-to-male competition can be fierce and involves various types of combat. Most combat occurs through the lifting of the anterior half of the body and is followed by a series of intertwined lunges and twirls. The male that is able to keep his head lifted and raised the longest is deemed the winner and gets access to the nearby female, and courtship ensues. After the male has earned the mating right to pursue the female, the male must participate in another intertwining battle with the female. Both sexes lift the anterior half of their bodies, similar to the male-to-male combat stance, and the male rubs his chin across the female's back while flicking his tongue. A receptive female will raise her tail and open her cloaca as an invitation for the male. Receptive females have been known successfully mate with multiple males, resulting in multiple paternity of a litter. If a female is not interested, the female will swing her tail and continuously move to avoid copulation. Most contortrix populations that have been studied have two mating seasons, one